Asian Pulse TV, an informative and resourceful station. I'm your host Manbir Randhawa, and today we are broadcasting from the unceded territories of Silvertooth Nation, Mokim, and Kwantlen Nations. We feel very blessed for the generosity of the first people to let us share this traditional and sacred land with them. Today is the first day of February, the shortest month on the calendar, and it is also known as Heart Month. The Heart and Stroke Foundation is doing a lot of events that you can attend to keep your heart healthy. But do something on your own for your own health, like walk, jog, or maybe a run. So to help Canadians make some healthy lifestyle choices, the Government of Canada is supporting innovative programs and partnerships like Run to Quit, Carrot Rewards, Apple Schools, and Kid Food Nation in communities across Canada. These initiatives support healthy living and help to prevent chronic diseases in all ages. February is also known as Black History Month, which is an annual observance to recognize important people and events in the history of African diaspora. During this month, events are organized and a lot of Black community showcase their struggles in this country and also highlight the achievements, accomplishments that they have achieved here. Let's all get ourselves informed about the history of Black people in Canada and be an ally to the Black community. Let us take a short break and hear some words from our sponsors.
I understand how important it is to have a place called home, and it's frustrating using your hard-earned money on rent. Vic Prasad can make you a homeowner. Get pre-approved services provided to first-time buyers and new immigrants. You can qualify for mortgage even if you have bad credit. Call Vic Prasad now on 604-306-6647. Vic Prasad is associated with Craft Mortgages Canada Incorporated.
For any kind of visa-related services, contact Milky Way Immigration, a galaxy of opportunities located at Unit 209-9547 152 Street, Surrey, BC. They have licensed immigration consultants, placement officers, and LMIA experts to meet your immigration and recruitment needs. Book one-time free consultation either on Facebook or by calling 604-396-0005.
Arvin's Curry and Cocktail, Indian cuisine. They do catering for all occasions and they do free delivery. Please call 604-515-1070. Address is 420 6th Street, New Westminster. Open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. For deliveries, call 604-515-1070 or arvinscurry.com.
Bollywood Banquet Hall and Conference Center, located at Pyle Business Center at 201-8166 128th Street in Surrey. No celebration is too small to accommodate you. They have newly renovated 2 halls to serve you, up to 1,000 guest capacity, top-notch chefs to delight you with delectable and heavenly cuisine. So just call Bollywood Banquet Hall at 604-598-2700 for your events. Benisi Mobile Detailing Services. They offer commercial trucks, cars, SUV, boats, bikes, RVs, and much more. Just give them a call at 778-808-2859. Just give them a call at 778-808-2859 and they will do all kind of services at your home. Thank you, sponsors. Our guests today are Nischal Ram, who is the team coach and president of Greater Vancouver Sports Club, and Sabrina Baksh. She is the mom of the player in the soccer team who faced racism in Coquitlam. Let's have a look.
Hello and welcome to Asian Pulse. My guest today is Nischal Ram, a team coach and president of Greater Vancouver United Sports Club. And with him is Sabrina Baksh, and she is the mom of a player of a soccer team. And today we're going to be talking about racism. Do you agree with me or you may not? And you say, Camilla, what are you talking about racism? Racism in sports we're going to be talking about. And these two people are here. They have faced first-hand racism while their team was playing with another team in Coquitlam. And Sabrina is the mom of one of the players. And Nischal is the coach and the president. So welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
So what we're going to talk about, give a background of what are we going to be talking about, what has happened, what has taken place.
We have kids that play with the soccer league, and they're about 16 years old, and we were playing a league game in October. in which the players had the unfortunate incident of being harassed and ridiculed on the field based on their ethnicity. Our players were called the N-word. There was religious slurs said to our kids. They were called terrorists. And this is all within the actual banter of what's deemed as banter of play, which is unfortunate because there's, as far as I'm concerned, there's no justification of any kind of banter that should involve a person's origins, their ethnicity, or anything that makes them unique to themselves. So that was very unfortunate. The kids actually ended up leaving the field in tears because of the level of comments that were made by players on the field, the lack of response from the actual officials that are there to protect these children, because they may be 16, but they're still kids. And there was comments and things made by parents as well, which also was unfortunate that the entire environment led to a place where we needed to feel that we needed to come to the media to have some resolution done, since we don't seem to be getting any resolution through the proper means of filing complaints with BC Soccer, with the league, all to just be said that there's just not enough proof, or that there's not enough for them to go on to do anything about it. And unfortunately, racism in Canadian society is what they call polite racism. If it's not blatantly in your face or someone striking you because of a comment, nothing's ever done about it. So, hence us coming to the media to be able to get some resolution for these kids, as well as the community as a whole, to say that there's no place. There is no place for racism. There's no place for harassment. And when you're talking about youth, we need to build them up, not break them down.
And you being a coach and the president of Soccer League, what was your intake? How did you feel about all that?
Racism happens all the time, but people are in ignorance. And what happened to us in October of last year was the very lowest I've ever seen as a coach, coaching my boys for the past 15 years. And that broke a lot of hearts at that game, because I've never seen parents crying after the game, even though whether it's a lose or win. Yeah, parents are always happy about the way the boys play. But that was the first time in 15 years I had so many parents just crying. And then getting so many phone calls late in the night from concerned parents asking what was going on, because the kids, they were really hurt.
So, when we are sitting and talking about it, what could have been done differently?
I think our players did everything possible during the game of play. Told the referee what was going on. Sabrina's son, he's a certified referee as well. So he even talked to the referee, and the referee wouldn't take any action. He just let the game flow. And his excuse was he can't do nothing because he never heard anything. Mind you, we were across on the other side of the field. We could hear the parents and the supporters yelling. So the referee being in the middle of the field, being in ignorance, is very sad, being a team official.
Yeah. So these teams that you were playing with, and I think your team is Surrey team, and is it all white players you were playing, or there were people of color in that too?
There was at least one person, at least one player on the Gwiltland team that was of South Asian descent. And my son actually during the game said to that child, like, can you get your players in check? Like, this is not okay. And my son, the response back was, they're racist like that. What do you expect me to do? So not only do we have a team our team that's primarily South Asian playing against a team that's primarily settlers, that one South Asian player felt like he had no choice but to just accept that this is the reality that he's in, and there's the drive to even make change within his own team is not there, which is a sad statement in itself. It just speaks to the level of acceptance that in that community that that is just the norm, and if you want to be involved in that community or active in a sport, that's what you're going to have to tolerate, which is not the message that we want to come out of this. Is there is no tolerance. You should not be the player on that team saying, well, oh well, it is what it is. This is our youth, and our community has the power to stand up, the power to do something if we go and show our unification for something that is wrong and has no place at all, as far as I'm concerned. It's personal accountabilities to whether you're accountable to what you said or accountable to stand up for what's right, even in difficult situation. And that you should have been empowered to say, okay, you know what, yeah, you're right, team, enough. And that youth, unfortunately, I feel for them because they did not feel that they had that kind of support within that environment. And that's a sad statement. Or at least our boys had each other. They lead each other. Our parents had each other. They have no one to go to except for to just endure it. And that's wrong.
You have written a letter to BC Soccer Association, Michelle.
Yes.
And what did you hear back? What are they going to look into that? What will happen now?
So, as a team coach, I sent them an email.
Yeah.
I was advised to send a written report to ITP Sport, which is in Ottawa, and they are contacted by BC Soccer to look at all the complaints. So, which I did the next day. It took them 3 months to come back and say, Coquitlam Metro Ford will look into the issue. And then when I talked to them, they said, we can't do nothing because there is no evidence. So that was after 3 months of initial reporting of the incident. They came back and said they can't do anything.
Well, you have about 10 or 15 players.
Yes.
Isn't it not good enough evidence? Is it, they can go on the stand and they can say, this is what these people call me. Is that not enough?
So that's what really concerns us, that's what really bothers us, that BC Soccer being the governing body in the province of British Columbia, they're in ignorance. We want to know why BC Soccer is not taking actions. We don't want anything done to Coquitlam Metro 4 team. Whatever happened has happened already, we can't change that. As long as they bring awareness in the entire province, being the governing body, that make sure it doesn't happen again, I think that would be huge for every racialized kid who are in sports.
And that's what you are expecting, or your boys are expecting, that there got to be something, the acknowledgement of whatever happened, and why are these kids still crying today, and they don't feel safe. And if ever they have to go and play the same team, even both of them maybe play semi-final, finals, whatever, they will not feel safe because the trauma of what has happened last time will come back.
Exactly. We were supposed to play the team 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
At their home field. I had only 2 players who were ready to go.
Yes.
So our league, which is SFDA, South Fraser District Association, they were nice enough to reschedule us to play a different team, just so our boys wouldn't have to go and subjected to that harassment again.
How are your boys right now? Do they still live with that thing, or are they still coming up, or they receive some counseling, or how are they doing right now?
I think the boys are still struggling. So the biggest challenge has been trying to convince them that things can get better. And that's been hard to reinforce with the reactions that we're getting from BC Soccer and other governing bodies, that we promised them we would do everything in our power to ensure this never happens again. And we haven't been able to uphold that promise because we don't have the support to do that, in the sense of BC Soccer coming back and saying we're going to make changes, that these are the protocols that we're putting in place to ensure that if this was to start happening on the field, these are the safety procedures that you can have control over. Right now, these kids are just like, okay, yes, we're getting the word out there, but what is actually going to change? And that's been, as a parent, I think one of the most frustrating things is because I don't have an answer to that question. It's something, like Michelle said, we've experienced our whole lives. It's not anything new. So how can we make a commitment to these youth that things are going to get better when we haven't seen it get better in our time? And that's a frustrating statement to say and to encourage these youth to do things on the proper path, to file the proper complaints, not to retaliate on the field, not to make this into a black and white thing, because there is no black and white thing. We are unified in Canada as all people that have come in. We're choosing to be here. With that comes that there needs to be acceptance of other people. And so we're trying to teach these youth to live by higher standards, to live by the expectations, the morals and values that we hold still within our community. But it's very hard to do when we're playing other teams that have different sets of standards of what they deem to be okay. So empowering them to be all right has been very difficult. And I don't know if the youth are actually seeing that it's worthwhile. And that's a sad statement to say that getting into this fight is worthwhile to see something at the end. So that's partly why we're coming to the media as well, because it's not just our team can't just do this by itself. It needs the numbers to actually show these kids, show these youth that there is a chance for change, but we have to show that we have unity to do that.
If you do a presentation, if they ask you, can we come and talk to you? Could we bring our boys and you can listen to what has happened? Would that bring some kind of a closure? We need some closure. We need something for this non-for-profit organization who oversees the soccer in BC to take some action. Would that help you guys that at least I'm being heard, whether anything done or not, at least you are able to speak your experience?
I think that would bring some closure to the boys and the team as a whole, because at least they'll know their concern has been acknowledged and it will be addressed later on. But being in denial, being in ignorance, doesn't bring any closure.
So they are not just one or two or about your team or whatever has happened. This is impacting every other brown kid in Surrey. So could we not have an one-to-one conversation with them?
I think that would be ideal for BC Soccer to come down to Surrey
Yeah.
and talk to all the different clubs here. That they are doing their best to bring some closure and not only talk about diversity, but we have the inclusion in all the different leagues. The players of different colors, they all accepted as a team. And the Mayor of Surrey, Mayor Brenda Locke,
yeah.
she found the story online. She made an effort to come to our practice on Thursday
Okay.
and met all the boys with the team.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, so if we can make that impact
Yeah.
at a wider level, getting the mayors from other cities involved, BC Soccer involved, even Canada Soccer, I think that would be great to bring awareness not only in the community but in our country as a whole.
Another thing that I'm just thinking while I'm talking, that you can ask Brenda Locke to send a letter on behalf of all the soccer teams in there and send it to BC Soccer Association, that this is what's happening. I want you guys to come and talk to the players here, talk to the parents in here.
Yes, she applauded us
Yeah.
to bring this issue up
Yeah,
and being the change in the community.
yeah,
Because she knows very well, she understands the situation that it is not acceptable in today's modern society.
yeah,
This is 2023.
of course.
And if people think they can do and say things like this and get away with it, it is not right. This will not be accepted.
Yeah. Then, I mean, there are a lot of other parents that are listening to you and they think, oh, well, don't take it very personal. It's happened once, it's isolated. You want to go play soccer, you have friends there, don't pay any attention. What would you like to say to the parents that you are watching you today? How could you empower them that their voice are very important, that they must have a voice and they must speak up?
Well, I think for parents, it's a big thing to show your kids the right path as much as you can. We're not all perfect, we all make mistakes. So I think having that accountability that when we do something that maybe is not appropriate, that we acknowledge it. If we can at least recognize our wrongs, then we have the chance to change them. And even with your youth, I know with my family, we have conversations and the youth tend to be a little bit more relaxed at home with some of what they say. So I'll listen. And I think that's one thing parents need to do is just listen when they don't think they're actually knowing you're listening. And I think that's when you truly can hear what your kids are thinking. Because unfortunately, there are a lot of influences and we want to make sure that our kids stay on the right path. So I think listening and letting them educating, and Nishal spoke about this quite a bit. Education is huge. That it's you need to teach these youth that what's okay and why. Why is it wrong? Why is it not okay? Why is even that thing that you think is funny to say to your friend, why is it actually not all right to say that? And why is it that one person can maybe say a word and the other person can't? Well, you need to educate to know so that these youth and the parents themselves can also educate themselves. And I also empower the youth, educate your parents. If you hear your parents say something and it's not right, you can approach your parents in a respectful way and have those conversations, because I think nowadays too kids do again have outside influences that are not always negative. So parents need to be open to listening to what these youth are saying, because they're living in a different society than maybe you may have grown up with. So I think that education piece is a two-way street. Youth need to listen to parents, and parents really need to listen to what these youth are saying and address what's at the core. Because a lot of times when a comment's made about something, it's not actually about that specific instance. It's something they've been pondering or thinking about. So listen to each other, and education is huge. If you don't know the answer, don't pretend you know the answer. Look it up. We're in the world of the internet. These kids,
Yes.
we can't get them off their phone.
Yeah.
So empower them to be like, okay, since you're going to be on your phone anyways,
Yeah, look, Google and
Yeah.
find out.
what's true.
Yeah.
Find out your own stats. If you don't believe me, look it up yourself. Only 1 in 10 hate crimes are ever reported.
Yeah, true. Anyways, you want to add something on the show?
Yeah, I would like to finish up with saying that most of the coaches working in the community, they are volunteers.
Yes.
They volunteer their time. And when incidents like this happens, most of the time they don't have the time to make a complaint. And we are making an effort on behalf of all the teams, all the clubs in the community, that if there is an issue with racial discrimination, if they don't have time, they can even approach us, and we can help them out. I think as a group, we can make a bigger impact in the community than just being a club.
That's good.
So I hope all the coaches who are in the community, they listening to this, if they do come across any racial discrimination, they can always contact us, get in touch with us, or contact you, and then you can put them in touch with us.
Well, nicely said. I couldn't have said it any better. And also, we have to remember that they are keeping the kids away from gangs and drugs and all that. What would you rather see? Standing and selling drugs and make quick bucks, or they get involved in the sports? And these are volunteers. So they are keeping your children occupied in soccer, hockey, whatever you name it. So I think we as a community, we also have a role to play to support those children, to support those coaches, to support all those people that are in the front line, that your children trust them and they go and play games. So they don't have free times on their hand and staying away from a lot of other things that your kid can get in trouble into. Both of you, thank you so much for coming in and talking about it and resolving some of the things. I think the best thing is, if you can't fix anything, you listen, right? And we don't have all the answers, but we can always find some. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you both for coming out and talking about the racism our children are facing in sports these days. And if you have faced racism, please speak up. This is a democratic country and we all have our voices. Did you know 1 of 3 kids to go to school hungry? So Toonies for Tummy is a fundraising initiative that is taking place this month, where you can give Toonies for the hungry kids. Chicken Chop Soy Foods is running a drive which is taking place on Saturday, February 4th from 12 p.m. until 4 p.m. at 8474 116 A Street, Delta. Cost is only $10, and all of these proceeds will help fund the first ever all-girls soccer team to Fiji in July 2023. For more information, please call Ronald at 604-789-8885. PICS Mega Job Fair is taking place on Monday, February 6, 2023 at the Italian Cultural Center located at 3075 Slocum Street in Vancouver, which is near the Renfrew SkyTrain station. For more information, please call Lily Dhadral at 604-596-7722. Canadian Empowered Women of Fiji Foundation is doing another fundraiser for Canadian Heart and Stroke Foundation on February 11th for Valentine's Day at 6:30 p.m. at Khanna Banquet Hall in Surrey, and tickets are only $40 per person. For more information, please call 604-825-8261 or 604-831-0240. Showman Events Entertainment and Production House is bringing their another stand-up comedy event in Abbotsford on February 25th. Tickets are available on eventbrite.ca. Rugby Sevens will once again pack up Rogers Arena from March 3rd to 5th. So this is a 3-day event which will be having over 60,000 fans, 352 players, and 28 teams. It will be an epic weekend. So I hope you guys are going, but for tickets, contact tickets at canadasevens.com. If you have missed our show, you can watch it again tomorrow night at 8:30 and again on Saturday at 5:30 on Shaw Cable. All of our shows are also uploaded on our YouTube channel under Asian Pulse TV. We bring to you 3 different shows, so please take a note of it. First is Fiji in Focus, which you can watch on Tuesday at 10:30 p.m., Thursday at 2:30 p.m., and Sunday at 4 p.m. Kamila Singh Show on Monday at 10 a.m. and again on Sunday at 5:30 p.m. The third one is Weeti Vibes TV, which is broadcasted on Thursday at 10 p.m. and again on Sunday at 4:30 p.m. All of our shows are also uploaded on YouTube channel under Kamila Singh Shows. Before I leave, I want to say few things about the power of silence. Privacy is protection, and oversharing is self-observation masked as vulnerability. Stop telling people more than what they need to know. The less you reveal, the more people will wonder. Forget the attention. Trust me, forget the attention, move in silence. Destruction has noise, but creation is quiet. This is the power of silence. Grow silently, live peacefully. With that, have a wonderful week. I'm your host, Manbir Randhawa, and next show will be Valentine's special. See you.